Northfield Square Mall doesn't have a lot to its name anymore. Just a handful of businesses, a couple restaurants, and that's about it. Take a walk with me and I'll show you a classic dead mall on the plains of Illinois. Alright, Northfield Square Mall would officially open in August 1st, 1990 as an Eddie DeBartolo original. The anchors would include Sears, JCPenney, Venture, Carson-Pirie-Scott, and even a cinema. While peering through newspaper archives didn't reveal a ton of information, I did notice an article outlining the economy of the region in the 90s. Kankakee was just recovering from a recession, and the mall's opening in Bradley would suck the air out of the room for local businesses as it established a corridor for national chains and would also poach Sears, JCPenney, and even Carson's from the city areas. On top of this, the mall was ultimately responsible for the death of the Meadowview Shopping Center, which, although is still around today, is not quite what it used to be. Curiously enough, in its first year, Northfield Square Mall was only 60% occupied, but stores were reporting strong sales upon opening, and a report in 2012 would reveal that the mall did reach 88.3% occupancy. Though I was unable to find if the mall reached 100%, though looking at everything right now, I doubt it, especially as Venture as a chain folded in 1998, failing to compete against the likes of Walmart, Target, and even Kmart. And it appears that Carson's would open up a secondary store in their place. While the mall appeared to have a strong start, it wouldn't last, ultimately failing to fully fill in its halls and gain traction. Eddie DeBartolo's outfit would get bought up by Simon, and Simon would hang on to the mall for years before defaulting on their loan in 2014. This would result in the mall being sold to CW Capital before Namdar Realty would buy the mall in early 2016. And since then, it has only gone from bad to worse, I'm sorry to say. As this site became more and more common, Northfield Square Mall would start to see the anchors trickle away, starting with Sears and both Carson stores closing over 2018. And in June 2020, it was announced that JCPenney would be on its way out as the company entered bankruptcy. This would leave just the Cinemark Theater as the main anchor of the mall. The DeBartolo Corporation always did pick some pretty good architects for their malls, and this mall looks pretty nice, at least it does to me. Large open courts with skylights to make it look and feel bright and airy. Even at their worst, these malls still look great to me. It's just a shame that the majority of their malls were either poorly positioned, lost out to competition, or were overbuilt. Even if Kankakee, Bradley, and Bourbonnais were in better shape, I think this mall's size was the leading problem. It's just too damn big. Things wouldn't improve as the mall continued to drop, and not just occupancy and interest, but also reputation, as an argument in April 2021 would escalate to one man getting shot in the hand. The man was treated for his injuries and would presumably be released from hospital later on. But 2022 would see a higher profile event as multiple shots were fired, reportedly. This would lead to the evacuation of the mall, and the suspect was apparently never found. Fortunately, no injuries or fatalities were reported that day. It's hard to tell which part of this mall is the emptiest part, because there's a couple of businesses scattered all about. Even at this end of the mall, which felt like the deadest part at some points, has some of those businesses clustered around the theater. And the food court, at least last I knew, still had one stall occupied. Although nowadays that business is listed as temporarily closed. I hope it's temporary. Today, the mall continues to hang around with just a handful of tenants inside. A few small stores, a couple specialty eateries, and a Japanese steakhouse, and a couple services remain in these halls, alongside the movie theater in the back. Redevelopment has been mentioned in the past, and it's reported that the city of Bradley owns the former Carson's Men anchor. However, these mentions of redevelopment go back to 2020, and I still don't see any plans finalized, nor do I see any recent mentions. So what we have here is a classic dead mall that's stuck in limbo. And with Namdar at the helm, it's likely to remain in limbo for some time. Regarding the talks about redevelopment, there have been plans to demolish half the mall. To replace it with what, I do not know. My free trial expired for the Daily Journal. However, I have also seen articles stating that the owners are still hopeful about the mall's prospects. And looking at the website, while some tenants are no longer around, some new ones are apparently still coming in. So there isn't a lot happening here, but there's still something happening. It makes me wonder how long this mall will continue to remain as a stubborn spot on the map. As faded as it is, and, well, this is Mason Asset Management at the helm. Or Namdar. Those two kind of just blur together. Hi, it's me, but from the future. Just after finishing this batch of voiceovers, I learned that the city of Bradley has now purchased the mall, and they own everything except for the theater apparently. So it seems things might actually happen for this place real soon. One can at least dream, right? At least at the end of the day, this mall still has a fountain. It looks like there were more in the food court, but those are all dry now. Oh well, one is better than none. Well, the time has come for us to head out, and I can only wonder how long this mall will last. How long do you think it's going to go before something drastic happens? Until next time, Bourbonnais and Bradley, this is Doomie Grunt wishing you, in the Northfield Square Mall, farewell and good luck in the future.